Hey guys, and welcome back to Level 2 Jurassic World Midland. So today I'll be doing a special video. We are going to find out every single species of the Carnivorous Dinosaurs from Jurassic World, okay? Including the prehistoric reptiles as well. So let's begin the video by picking up all the different species right now. So let's do this. Alright guys, so this section right here basically contains the Carnivorous dinosaurs from the previous seasons. So let's pick one figure from each species, okay? So let's do this. Alright guys, 11 species in the box. And if you check this out, there are more species right here. So let's pick one figure of each species from here, here, and here as well. Guys, more figures are in the box. Right now there are 38 species. We're gonna pick more of them from this section right here and we should be completed. Alright guys, I'm now back in the basement. Dino Dungeon, you can see right here we have a box filled with different carnivorous dinosaurs. In fact, there are 70 different species. Okay, are you guys ready for me to introduce every single one of them to you? Let's do this guys. Alright guys, let's keep this video as clean and as simple as possible. The first carnivorous dinosaur is basically the Spinosaurus. As you guys can see, this is the extreme chomping Spinosaurus. I think this was released sometime back in 2018. So let me just put this one right here, okay? Okay, next one. Okay, our video will also include all the different prehistoric reptiles as well, okay? So what about this one? We have the ocean protector Mosasaurus. This is actually from the first wave because the second wave actually comes with a drawer code, if you guys remember that, okay? So Mosasaurus is known as the lizard of the Mills River. So this is actually from Jurassic World Dominion, if I'm not wrong, or was it from Camp Cretaceous? I can't really remember, but it's fine. Let's just place this one right here, okay? Next up, just gonna be randomly picking different figures from the box, not in any particular order. We have the Indominus Rex, which is the sound search figure, and of course it is known as the untamable king, okay? So check this out. It actually comes with a button right here and it produces the sound from this little ventilation hole right here. You're able to move the jaw, okay? So Indominus Rex, let's place this one right here. Alright, it is a hybrid dinosaur. This figure was released earlier this year. Okay, next up we have the track and attack Indoraptor. So Indoraptor, as you guys know, was part of the Fallen Kingdom, and it is a hybrid dinosaur with the DNA of the Indominus Rex and of course with blue as well. So an extremely intelligent and agile and fast dinosaur. Yep, track and attack figure. This was also released earlier this year. Alright, let's move on to the next one. How about this? Do you guys remember what this is? This is basically the Scorpius Rex, which was the first hybrid created by Dr. Wu. It is basically like a field experiment. So you can see it actually has similarities to the Indoraptor, but the face looks distorted because it didn't evolve properly, I would say. It wasn't created to the best of its DNA, so it is some sort of like a deformed dinosaur. So yep, Scorpius Rex. I have no idea what does the name mean. If you guys have any idea, please let me know down below. Okay, let's move on. I want you guys to help me count as well. So far we are at number 6, and of course we have the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is extremely famous. So this is also a sound search figure. So it's basically Tyrannosaurus Rex means the Tyrant Lizard King. It was seen from 1993 from the very first movie. Alright, this is also a sound search figure, which is absolutely beautiful as well. Let me just adjust this such that every single figure can be seen very clearly. You may just adjust the flippers of the Mosasaurus to make it look even better. Alright? Okay, I don't think we can do it because the flippers are actually quite flimsy. Alright, let's move on to our next figure. How about this one? Giganotosaurus, which is currently one of the most favorite and most popular carnivorous dinosaurs right now. So the Giganotosaurus, it's basically just seen in Jurassic World Dominion. This is also a sound search figure. Check this out. Of course, it comes with the same articulation right here. Alright, Giganotosaurus is known as the giant southern lizard. It is a dinosaur which is actually bigger than the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yep, fully grown Tyrannosaurus Rex versus a fully grown Giganotosaurus is actually no match to it in terms of the size, not in terms of fighting ability, okay? Okay, next up, let's have a look at another pretty big figure, guys. Okay, this is basically the Allosaurus, and this is the extreme damage Allosaurus, which is probably the best extreme damage figure so far because it has sounds. It also has the battle damage mechanism, and on top of that, you can actually lift up the rib cage to reveal the internal organs, which is like soft to the touch, which is excellent. And you guys know how much I love the fact that they have painted the tongue in dark blue instead of like pink, which makes it look super awesome. So I'm gonna put the Allosaurus right at the back right here, okay? Looking very cool. We'll try to adjust them later on as well. Okay, next up we have a Megaraptor. I have no idea what does the name mean. I have totally forgotten about it. So if you guys have any idea, please let me know down below as well. I'm trying to find the right spot to adjust the tail. So this is a Megaraptor, as you guys can see. I think it is a Megalosaur if I'm not wrong, and this is actually a raw striker released earlier this year. So let's place this one right over here. So far, how many carnivores do we have? Let's do a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, very nice. Let's move on to number 10, which is a Baryonyx, which is known as the Heavy Claw. The name is basically means heavy claw because you guys can clearly tell the first claw is actually much larger than the rest. Okay, Baryonyx is a Spinosaur, and this figure is actually part of the Camp Cretaceous set if I'm not wrong. It was released 2 years ago, I suppose. I can't remember, a couple of years back. I just cannot remember the exact release date for sure. Okay, next up, let's have a look at a figure which is relatively new. The Yangchuan's lizard, which is the Yangchuanosaurus. Okay, right here, this figure was released late last year if I'm not wrong. It is also part of the Jurassic World Dominion edition, and this is actually known as the Massive Action Yangchuanosaurus. Looks fantastic. Let's place it right at the back. Just gonna lift it up. Okay, we'll try to clear the table later on to make it look way more exciting. Alright, let's have a look at some other figures. Okay, so we are at, how many are we at right now? 11 if I'm not wrong. And this is number 12. We have the Ceratosaurus. Ceratosaurus is basically known as the horned lizard because of this horn right here. And this is a raw attack figure. Check this out, guys. So it comes with 3 notches right here. This is basically notch number 0, 1, 2, and 3. Alright, very cool. So I suppose you can say it has 4 different, options right here. Okay, let's place the Ceratosaurus right over here. Looking great. And let's have a look at another figure. This is a Metriacanthosaurus right here. Okay, it is in fact the 3rd Metriacanthosaurus figure produced from Mattel, okay, and it is actually a Wow Raw. Is this a Wow Raw or Raw Attack? Let me think. Wow Raw is basically the one to switch, so this one should be the Raw Attack figure. Yep. Previously, there were 2 different Rorivores released before this version, okay? And Metriacanthosaurus is known as the moderately spined lizard. Beautiful figure. I actually love this color scheme the most. So let me just place this one right here. I'll try to make it stand up to look even better. So maybe right here, guys. Alright, let's move on. Let's have a look at some of the smaller figures as well, because I need to clear the top of the box. A Prehistoric, it is not a dinosaur, and this is basically a strike attack figure that was just released a couple of weeks ago. Very cool. Let's just place this one right in front because we have so many of them to cover. And what do we have right here? Carnotaurus, one of the most famous carnivorous dinosaurs of all time. Carnotaurus was actually seen in 2018 in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Of course, in Jurassic World Dominion as well. And this is an epic attack figure, as you guys can see. It produces light and sounds, which is very awesome. Alright, I'm gonna put this one right at the back, right over here. Okay, and let's move on. And here we have the Elasmosaurus, which is a dino tracker figure that was just released a couple of weeks back as well. It is highly popular. I think it is selling out in many countries. I can't wait to get my my hands on another one of this. If I'm not wrong, the Elasmosaurus is actually known as the thin plate lizard. I'm not exactly sure, but I could remember it wrongly, so I definitely need the help of you guys. Okay, let's move on to the next figure. What do we have right here? This is a Edaphosaurus, which is a prehistoric cynocid, and it is also a strike attack figure. As you guys can see, it looks very similar to a Dimetrodon with that frill right here. This was also released quite recently as well. This is a Proceratosaurus, quite an old figure, released a couple of years back. Proceratosaurus, if I'm not wrong, the name actually means before Ceratosaurus. What a weird name, right? Okay, let's just place this one right here. It's actually from one of the very, a couple of seasons back for sure. And what do we have right here? Giganotosaurus. Giganotosaurus, apparently, this is actually one of the rarest figure in the entire Jurassic World line. I didn't even know it. And right now, this is actually, going at a few $100s on eBay just for this figure, because it is very rare. So I have to really take good care of it because I only have one of this. Okay, let's move on and take a look at another figure. So what do we have right here? A Velociraptor, guys. So a Velociraptor was basically introduced to the Jurassic World line only in Jurassic World Dominion. So a Velociraptor is basically known as the savage thief, okay? Savage robber, in short. Next up, we have a Quetzalcoatlus, which is a prehistoric flying reptile. In my video, I will also cover the different prehistoric flying reptiles which are not dinosaurs, okay? So this figure, it's basically a massive action. As you guys can see, the wings are able to flap, and of course the jaw is able to open and close. I think you have to do it on your own, which is awesome. Oh no, sorry, you can actually activate it. So this is also from Jurassic World Dominion. Quetzalcoatlus, if I'm not wrong, is known as the feathered serpent god or something like that, along that line. Okay, next are Hevosaur, which is also a new dino tracker, gigantic trackers figure that was just released a couple of weeks ago. It is a Tyrannosaur, which is closely related to a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You can see it has two buttons right here. This one actually closes the neurospine bones. This one actually knots the head and the neck. Hevosaur is known as the Bistarhi Beast. Very cool name, I would say. Alright, let's move on and take a look at a smaller figure. What do we have right here? Monolophosaurus battle damage figure, which is quite rare as well. A lot of the battle damage figures were actually quite rare. I can't remember what does Monolophosaurus mean when it comes to its name. So if you guys know, drop a comment down below. Next up, we have a Sternbergia. Sternbergia is basically, one of the latest species added to the collection as well. This it's from the Legacy collection. Beautiful figure. Hopefully you have a space to put this. I'm just gonna put this one right behind. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Next, we have a Sinotyrannus, which I have totally forgotten what the name actually means. But this is also from the Dino Trackers Gigantic Tracker series. It comes with 2 buttons, as you guys can see. One triggers the tail and the other one moves the jaw. Awesome stuff. Let's just place this one right here. Okay, I think this video has got to be the most epic video that I've ever made. 70 different species. Pteranodon right over here, which is known as a toothless wing. But if you take a look at the figure, it actually has teeth. This is actually added in by the Jurassic Park, movie, because pteranodons do not have teeth, and they are basically known as a toothless wing. This one I can't remember which series it was from, but it was basically, released a couple of seasons back, a couple of years back. Okay, just gonna put this one right here. Next, we have an Irritator right here, guys. So Irritator is also a Spinosaur, and this is a Sound Strike figure. Okay, this was also released quite some time ago, a couple of years back as well. Let's place this one right here. Next up, we have a Tupandactylus, okay, which is a Tappy Jared. Okay, and you guys can see this figure is actually from the Danger Pack. And it was also released a couple of weeks ago. Let's just place all the prehistoric flying reptiles right at the back because we don't have much space. And next figure, we have Herrerasaurus. Okay, Herrerasaurus is basically known as the Herrera's lizard, and this is a strike attack figure. You have to open up the jaw on your own. This is basically a new sculpt. A new sculpt because previously the Herrerasaurus, in terms of the sculpt, it did not look as good. Okay, so let me just try to stand this one right here, guys. Okay, everything is able to stand very well. Next up, we have a Dryptosaurus. I can't remember what does the name mean again. I can't remember every single one of them. And this is actually a raw figure, which was released just a couple of months back. This is also from the latest line. Latest releases, I would say. Let's place this one right over here. How many of the figures have we covered so far? I have no idea, but we still have a ton to go right here, guys. Plenty of them to go. Okay, next up, Eleoramus, another Tyrannosaur. It is closely related to a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You can see it also has 2 fingers only. Eleoramus is basically known as a different branch. Let's just place this one right here. Okay, let's move on to the next figure. What do we have right here? This is an Ornitholestes. I can't remember what does the name mean. And this figure, it's also quite an old figure that was released a couple of years back as well, probably like 2 to 3 years back. Okay, let's see what else we got. Giganotosaurus. This is actually one of the latest strike attack figures. Giganotosaurus, I can't remember the name as well. There are many figures which I don't remember the name meaning, so definitely need the help of you guys. Another Spinosaur, guys. This is actually known as the Siamosaurus. Siam's lizard, beautiful. Okay, you can see it has very similar attributes to the Spinosaurus. Huge neurospine bones, a tail which is wide, and of course it comes with some, what do you call this? The spine as well. Beautiful. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this one right here. Let's move on to our next one, which is the Shinhanosaurus. Shinhanosaurus was a carnivorous dinosaur discovered in China. Very cool. Just place this one right here. This figure was actually released just a couple of weeks back. We just added to our collection probably like 1 month ago. Next, we have a Rajasaurus, and if I'm not wrong, this is actually from no, this is actually a raw striker, so you guys can see. Yeah,
can actually raw very well, but you guys should know that I'm not a huge fan of raw striker figures because the legs are always very loose. Okay, next up we have a Cremosaurus, which is another really beautiful figure. I really love how they have painted the lower jaw in red, and this is actually an extreme damage figure. Cremosaurus is actually not as rare as the Giganotosaurus, but it's still one of the rare ones out there as well. Next, we have the cold-crested lizard, which is known as the Cryolophosaurus. Okay, beautiful figure. That was also released a couple of years back, I think before 2020 if I'm not wrong, and it is a Soundstrike figure. Hopefully we're able to just squeeze it right in over here, guys. Alright, so next up we have a Siamosaurus, guys. This is basically a prehistoric reptile, and this is actually from the Massive Biter series. Beautiful. There are two Massive Biter Siamosaurus in the entire collection. This one is the one that I actually like more. The colors are way more vibrant for sure. I'm just gonna put this one right over here. Okay, next up we have the Crocodile Mimic, the Dual Attack Suchomimus that was released sometime in 2019. It should be from 2018 to 2020, that period of time. Okay, so Suchomimus. It is also a Spinosaurus, as you guys can see. Beautiful one. You can swing the tail. You can press this one right here. Yeah, it's a very old figure, but you can see all of my figures are kept in very good condition for sure, because I am a very passionate collector. I don't just do all these videos just for the sake of making the videos. I'm really a collector. I keep all of my figures in tip-top condition. When I'm placing them into the box, I make sure that I put them into the box very lightly. Okay, this is very important. Next up we have a Troodon. Okay, Troodon. Can't really remember what does the name mean, the name meaning, but yeah, it's quite an old figure as well, from 2019 to 2020, that range as well. Okay, next up we have an Albertosaurus, a battle damaged Albertosaurus. I think this is one of the classic figures that is so well received. It was very well received. Albertosaurus is basically known as the Albert's lizard. It is a Tyrannosaur as well. Okay, so you can actually open and close the jaw on your own like this. Yeah, but I try to keep all of the mouths closed because I do not want dust to get in, although it can still go in. Okay, Albertosaurus, beautiful one. Let's see, I think we are running out of space on the table, guys, so we may not be able to put every single figure onto the table. Next we have the Metriacanthosaurus Soundstrike as well. This is actually a very weird dinosaur, as what I've told you guys. The spine, the neural spine bone seems to be inverted. Even the arm seems to be inverted. And this figure is also quite an old figure, from 2019 to 2018 to 2021. That range, definitely not one that was released last year or a year or two ago. Definitely not. Dimetrodon. This one is probably one of the latest one. Okay, extreme damage Dimetrodon. Dimetrodon is basically known as two measures of teeth, if I'm not wrong, or was it two form tooth? I think two form tooth is Dimorphodon. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have the Indoraptor, which was released earlier this year, I think, or was it like late last year? A pretty new figure, I would say, probably last year. Indoraptor. I love this figure because they have actually put some metallic paint right there, which I think it's absolutely amazing. You guys know how much I love metallic paint. So for this, let's just place this one right at the back. Next up, we have the Cockerel, which is known as the Dawn Shark. Some of you guys actually told me that, and this is a Wild Raw figure. Okay, very cool. So Wild Raw actually comes with a rotatable switch right here, so you are able to move it left and right. So yep, you can see it is covered with a lot of feathers. Beautiful figure, I would say. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna put this on the floor. All the bigger figures will just go onto the floor. Next, we have the Rhamphorhynchus, which, you know, if you take a look at the teeth, it is very, very weird. Okay, just have a look at this. You can see all the teeth are pointing outwards. Alright, next we have the Metriacanthosaurus right here. So Metriacanthosaurus, there were actually two different figures. One is in green and one is in maroon color. So the maroon color version is actually the later version. So it's basically a what do you call this? The latest one is known as the Strike Attack, and this one is Savage Strike, I suppose, or Fierce Frost. Okay, very nice. I'm just gonna put this one right here, squeeze in the space for sure. All right, next up we have a Rugops Primus. I think this has got to be, you know, one of the weird dinosaurs with very weird names. So Rugops Primus is basically known as the wrinkle face. The other one which I feel is really weird is basically like Giganotosaurus and Morus Intrepidus as well. So definitely there are a couple of dinosaurs with very, very weird names for sure. There's a lot of them which I can't remember the name meaning, but for this I can clearly remember. It is known as the wrinkle face. Although I don't really see like wrinkles on the face, I'm not too sure, you know why it was named the wrinkle face. Alright, let's have a look at the next figure. Let me just try to balance this first. Some of the figures are not able to stand very well. Okay, next up we have another Spinosaurus, which is the Ichthyovantor, which is known as the Fish Hunter. It comes with a drawer code, which means it is actually from one of the latest releases. It is also a raw striker, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, raw striker. There's just way too many different series names for me to remember all of them like clearly. So I'm just gonna put the Ichthyovantor on the floor, and this figure was actually released like last year. Very, very beautiful. You can see the tail looks very similar to the tail of the Siamosaurus as well as the Irritator. Because they are all from the same family, they're semi-aquatic. They basically need the tail to navigate in the water. Okay, next up we have a Silarus. So this Silarus is an extreme damage Silarus. Previously there was also a couple of Silarus produced but in different sculpts, and Silarus basically means hollow tail if I am not wrong. Okay, next up let's have a look at another one which is known as the Mononychus. Mononychus is known as the one claw, or is it a single claw, because it has only one claw on each of its wings. So yep, it looks like an ostrich. It looks like a modern day cassowary to me. Let's just place this one right here, and let me just try to make this Carnivorous stand up straight. So let me just put the camera back so that you guys can have like a full view. Yep, we have plenty of carnivorous dinosaurs. I was actually shocked and surprised that there are actually like 70 different species. Yes, I actually didn't believe it, guys. So this one, it's what is this? Plesiosaurus battle damage, another figure which I had a hard time finding as well. So Plesiosaurus is a prehistoric marine reptile. It is a plesiosaur with a long neck, and of course the long neck enables it to catch its prey, which is mostly fish, much easily I mean. Okay, next up we have a Dimetrodon, which is a prehistoric flying reptile. The name actually means two-formed tooth. Dimetrodons was seen in the very first Jurassic World movie. If you guys remember, when the Pteranodon was basically the aviary that was keeping the Pteranodons and the Dimetrodons. It broke, and the Dimetrodon came out attacking a lot of people. Oh my goodness, did I bring another Proceratosaurus? This is not supposed to be here, so yeah. I think we should have like 70 different species. Okay, next up, it's basically a Tanystropheus. If I'm not wrong, this was a semi-aquatic prehistoric animal, and is known as the long hinged. The name actually means the long hinged, and this is actually from the Savage Strike series. You can see if you move the tail down, the neck will move along, and of course it comes with a movable jaw that you have to move it on your own. But very beautiful figure. Let's just try to find a space to squeeze it right in. Yep. Next up, we have the Siamosaurus, another dinosaur which has a very weird name. And yeah, this one was actually from the Massive Biter series. You can see this is actually a very beautiful color variation. I really love this figure. It looks so cool. It also comes with spikes as well. I can't remember what does the name mean, but you guys, maybe I think you guys actually know, but so you guys can let me know down below. Alright, next up we have the Metriacanthosaurus, which is also a very new figure that was just released a couple of weeks back, at least in my country. I mean, at least to me, which I got it just a couple of weeks back. Beautiful figure, beautiful addition to the species line, I would say. Just place it right here. Next, we have the Velociraptor. You guys should know this. Velociraptor was seen in every single Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movie. I don't think there is any surprise about this figure. Yeah, it's apparently one of the most popular dinosaurs of all time. But to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Velociraptors because I feel there are just way too many of them. I feel and they are actually not scientifically accurate looking. Yeah. Next up, we have the Concavenator. I think this is a very beautiful figure. I'm not too sure why I have like this paint smudge right here. This is definitely a defect for sure. And this is the Dual Attack Concavenator. Awesome figure. Love the Concavenator. I'm really glad they actually released a Hammond collection figure that looks like this one right here. So I don't think we have space to put the Concavenator, so let's just place it on the floor. We are still left with just probably like 10 figures in the box, or slightly more or less. Okay, let's move on. The Dilophosaurus right here, the double-crested lizard. The Dilophosaurus has got to be one of the most iconic dinosaurs of all time from Jurassic World. Okay, because and Jurassic Park as well, because of this huge frill. Man, it was like, you know, threatening Dennis Nedry, the frill open up. But you guys know that the Dilophosaurus actually did not have this frill. And the Dilophosaurus is basically known as the double-crested lizard. So I think we can find a spot to just place it in. Just squeeze it right in over here. I think we should be able to do that. Oh my goodness, it's on the floor right now. Okay, let's try this again. Yep, it's not holding up too well. Let's try. Alright, we are in. Next, we have the Carnivorous from the Dino Escape series. So, Carnivorous is basically known as the shark-toothed lizard, if I'm not wrong. Yep. This button right here is very unique. It is actually soft to the touch. It feels very rubberized. Okay, very beautiful. Okay, yeah, I don't think. Okay, that space right there, I'm gonna leave it to the little Den Surprise logo. Okay, so let's move on to the next figure. We have the Nothosaurus, guys. So this was actually seen in Camp Cretaceous, and this figure was released earlier this year or late last year. Yeah, very cool. It is a semi-aquatic reptile as well. Awesome figure. Next, we have the Postosuchus, which is a prehistoric animal as well. It looks like a modern day crocodile to me. Savage Strike figure, very rare as well. I don't think you're able to find this figure right now in stores. It's basically unavailable. And in case that you guys don't know, I have every single figure from Mattel. I think almost every single figure. There are a couple of figures which I've missed out for sure. Okay, this one, it's basically the Tarbosaurus, guys. Beautiful Tarbosaurus from the Massive Biter series, and is known as the Alarming Lizard. Awesome figure. Love this so much. It's one of the classic figures. Next, we have the Elasmosaurus right here, which was released earlier this year as well from the Danger Pack series. Beautiful figure. Let's find a space to squeeze it right in. Probably right here, guys. Okay. Next, we have the Carnotaurus wild raw figure. Carnotaurus is basically known as the Kronos lizard, and it is one of the mosasaur. Of course, it should be a relative to the mosasaurus as well. So this figure was released last year, if I'm not wrong. Beautiful figure. I love to have more prehistoric marine reptiles for sure. I definitely want to have more of them. Next up, we have the Harbinger of Doom, which is known as the Dimetrodon Intrepidus. Yep, I think this has got to be the dinosaur of the coolest name meaning. Harbinger of Doom. How cool does it sound? It sounds like a Marvel super villain. Okay, if you check this out, you are able to open his jaw. And there are two figures of the Dimetrodon Intrepidus. One of them is actually in green, and this was the second release. Right. Let's move on. Indoraptor, guys. This is basically also one of the latest release. If you take a look at the face, it definitely looks like a chicken. It looks like a dog or a chicken to me. This is Indoraptor. I can't remember what does the name mean. So yeah, there are a couple of, a lot of new ones that I can't remember. I've done research, but I've just forgotten about it after that video. Okay, next up we have the Pyroraptor, which is known as the fire thief. Pyro basically means fire, and raptor basically means teeth. And yep, this was seen in Jurassic World Dominion. So far, there are 3 different Pyroraptors produced in the Mattel line, the main line. Okay, do we have space to squeeze this one right in? I don't think so. Okay, our last figure. Yes, our last figure. It's this Troodon. So I just want to check with you guys. Have you guys made a count of how many different species there are so far? I think there are like 17 different species so far. Okay. All right. So Troodon, awesome figure. Yeah, Troodon is basically means the smooth-sided teeth. Okay. So what else do we have? Okay, shall we just count all of them together? Shall we do this? Okay, let's try to count this side first, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh my goodness, I've lost count. It's really hard to count them. You guys should know why, right? Okay, let me just count this on my own and update you guys, okay? Okay guys, I have counted. I think we have like 70 different species. Yes, 70 to be exact. Roughly 68 to 70 different carnivorous species in the entire Mattel line, which is pretty awesome. I don't think I have missed anyone out for sure. So yeah, very cool. So some updates for you guys, okay? So let's head over to the Monster Island room. Okay, so check this out, guys. So the basement hideout is ready, guys. Check this out. So I'm using this section to display some of the items that are still in its original boxes. Some of the boxes are actually empty boxes. For example, this one, some of these are actually empty as well. Yeah, that one is empty as well. The chest set is a new set for sure. The Proceratosaurus is also a new set, but I've actually unboxed one. The eggs are actually all opened, but I've kept all of them in their original boxes. And you guys can see I've just installed the LED lights on my own. Yep, it's basically very easy to manage. It's basically like a tape. So I did all of this on my own. So it's looking pretty cool, I would say. Yeah, do you guys remember how it looked like in the beginning? I didn't really show you guys because I'm right now sitting on the floor. Yeah, this part was like a little mini storeroom where Mrs. Dan actually put a lot of her stuff, some of the unused items. Yeah, you can see this one is basically our storeroom. The storeroom is actually in a total mess, but this space is beautiful. Yeah, we've just revamped this space. So I think, you know, in the past, this entire room was actually a storeroom. This whole room was unused. We basically use it to like store luggages, you know, some of the unwanted stuff. So, you know, I really took a lot of time to clean the entire place up, and right now I think it's looking very, very nice. I'm very proud of this room. Yep, and you guys have been with me throughout the entire time, you know, telling me what to do, telling me what to name it. The Monster Island room was basically given to you by, you know, one of the dinosaurs, and Hideout was also given to you by, you know, given to me by one of you. So you guys are definitely part of this room, guys. I'm so proud of this room, and all thanks to you. So I'm trying to get a few more, you know, Masters of the Universe figure to put it right here. I'm thinking of getting the He-Man Faker as well as the He-Skeletor. I just want to keep, you know, the rare ones, the one that looks really, really cool. Yeah, like the He-Man Eternia, Anti-Eternia He-Man looks really nice. Yeah, so once we have the Super Colossal Indoraptor, we shall put it right here. Yeah, next to the Atrociraptor. It's gonna look awesome. Yeah, so that's all. Today is actually Tuesday, so on Thursday, hopefully you guys can see the repainted Mosasaurus. Next week I will be in Japan, so next week I won't be filming any videos, but I've actually pre-recorded the videos for next week. Okay, so yep, I'll be making vlogs in Japan. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, follow me on our other channels like More Dan, because I'll be uploading vlogs right over there. Okay, and of course our plush figure will be coming really soon. They should arrive in mid-June, and I'll be getting the website up. You guys can actually purchase the plush figure. There will only be 100 produced, okay? So it will go really, really fast. So once I have it, I'm just going to display one of them right here. Yeah, so I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Thanks and goodbye.